Hi, today I'm going to be giving some handstand tips. So I love to do handstands, and I haven't always been good at them. I had to start from the bottom just like everybody else, and so today I'm just going to kind of give a few tips of what I did to help build strength and help me get better in all of my inversion practice. So the first thing you want to do before you do any type of inversion or arm balance is you want to warm up your wrists. So you want to stretch them out, and the best way to do this is, or one of the favorite things that I like to do is to come to tabletop, or maybe just coming to sit back on my heels and reversing my wrists and stretching them out this way. Maybe moving back and forth to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. And then moving over to the tops of my wrists and then leaning back and getting the stretch that way. And then over to the side and swaying back and forth. So just kind of rolling out your wrists in any way that feels good to you. And make sure that they're warmed up so that we're not straining any muscles. So the base of pretty much any single pose in yoga is mountain pose. And you take this into plank, and you take this into your handstand. So the things that you want to remember as far as form goes, in mountain pose, you're bringing your arms up to the sky, you're tucking your tailbone slightly under, you're engaging your quads, so if you hit your quads, they should be pretty solid. And you're squeezing your core in, so your belly button comes into the back of your spine, you're squeezing your butt, and you're really pushing up and out through your shoulders, so really engaging your arms and keeping them straight. So this is the pose, or this is how you want to feel when you're upside down. So to start, we'll come down to plank. And as a modification, you can always come down to your knees at any time. So we're going to come into a plank, bringing our legs together, squeezing them together, and remembering the mountain pose. So squeezing our inner thighs together, squeezing our butt, tucking our tailbone slightly under, and remembering to pull the core into the spine. And shift your shoulders over so that they're leaning over your wrists. Really push out through your hands and let your shoulder blades come down your back just a little bit. And remember to breathe. And then come down to your knees if you need a little bit of a break. So the longer you hold your plank, the more muscle you're going to build for your handstand. So doing lots of planks with good form are going to help you with all of your handstand practice. So from plank against the wall, the next thing that we can do to progress is bring our hands up, coming into kind of a downward facing dog. And then take your leg up the wall and place your toes against the wall. And to lift your other foot up, you just press your top foot into the wall and lift your foot up off the ground. It just comes up automatically. And then bring your other foot to meet up the wall, remembering the shape that we were holding in plank. So really pushing out of your hands all the way up to your shoulders, squeezing your core, squeezing your legs together, tucking your tailbone slightly under, and coming into this shape. And to come down, just lower your leg, and then come down. You can sit in child's pose if being in an inversion is a bit much for you. So when I was first learning handstands, I used to do these against the wall as much as possible, and I would hold them for as long as I possibly could. but I also made sure that I was in that same plank shape, because when you're up here and you're doing these against the wall, you're not just building muscle, you're building muscle memory. So you're kind of training your body to be in that specific shape when you're upside down. And it could take days or weeks or months to actually build up the strength, but depending on how often you practice it, it could take you longer or sooner. So for me personally, I practiced at least 5 minutes a day, and after a couple of months I was able to do handstands without the wall and hold them maybe for like 10 or 20 seconds, and it just kind of builds up from there. So and then after you do this, you can also practice moving your hands closer to the wall. So coming back into the plank, and then downward dog, lifting your leg up and pushing your foot into the wall and lifting your other leg up. You can begin to slowly walk your hands up and walk your feet up the wall a little bit. And then walking back down, remembering to keep the same tight body, engaging all of your muscles. Coming back down, and then back to child's pose. So those are 2 things that you can work on if you really want to strengthen your handstands. Obviously, being able to walk your hands up, back towards the wall requires a little bit more strength, a lot of pushing through your hands and your shoulders, and it's a lot of body awareness. So if you really want to gain a lot of strength, that's kind of like the next step, is moving on your hands while keeping your entire body in that plank shape. So I'll be giving a little bit more handstand tips later, so hopefully this helps. So thanks for watching.